Jocelyn Fish, a Democrat from Racine. Jocelyn is the director of marketing for a community theater. Jocelyn, welcome to the question.
Hello. Good evening, Mr. President. Student loans are crushing my family, friends, and fellow Americans.
Me too.
The American dream is to
kidding.
succeed, but how can we fulfill that dream when debt is many people's only option for a degree? We need student loan forgiveness beyond the potential $10,000 your administration has proposed. We need at least a $50,000 minimum. What will you do to make that happen?
I will not make that happen.
I mean, now technically, you could teach yourself anything. Previously, say, universities had somewhat of a monopoly on higher education. But you can learn right now online for free more than someone who did a doctorate could do before. I mean, what is the purpose of universities at this point? I think it's mostly just to hang out with peers.
Do it! You know it! Let's go!
Okay.
And have some fun and talk to friends.
And hanging out with peers. This
Not
is
for
what
information.
Student loans are coming back in February, and it is going to cripple people in the economy here in the United States. They've been canceled for almost 2 years. Biden already said he's not going to extend them again. They're not going to delete student loans. That's a lie to trick people. They're not going to do anything because Biden legally can't. Congress won't. They want that money. It keeps you chained to their system. They want you chained to their system. Oh, yes, I'm referencing slavery. This is absolutely modern-day slavery. Now, Native Americans, we went through slavery. Black, Chinese, Japanese, white, what? Oh, he said it. Yeah, white people worldwide. All races have gone through slavery, have gone through all these unspeakable things throughout history. And now things are better than they've ever been by a mile, and people are trying to destroy it out of what? Boredom, stupidity. We're listening to teenagers about climate change while we have these leaders parade through the streets in 100 SUV motorcades and private jets. Do you know the United States alone took an estimated 21 jets to this global climate change conference? That's just the U.S. That doesn't count all these other countries because we had leaders coming from all corners of the globe. And it's climate change to appease people disguised as their real agenda with the social credit score.
What's good, YouTube? This is RPU here, and I'm back again with another video. And guys, President Biden has formally announced that he will not extend student loan payment relief, man. I currently owe student loans. I'm in student loan debt. My student loans have been affecting me for a long time. You know, for so long, I thought I could avoid them or put them to the side. But as time went on, the student loans started to affect almost every aspect of my life. From trying to rent an apartment, I was denied being able to rent an apartment because of my student loans, to even my bank account. Like I could only spend a certain amount of money per day without getting authorization from my bank because of my student loans. Like my student loans have been affecting my life for so long that I had no choice but to get my life together and start making payments, which I have done, you know. But I owe so much money. Well, not as much as other people, you know, because I saw the writing on the wall and I said, fuck that shit. I'm not finna be racking up $100,000 in debt. You know, I got out before the writing was on the wall. And so, and at the same time, I didn't like the direction that my counselors were pushing me. I mean, it's a whole story. I mean, if you guys are interested, I could do a video on, you know, how I think the higher education system failed me when I was 18. You know, I was young and dumb and I didn't know what I wanted to do. But, I mean, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, school ain't free, you know? And so I had financial aid to a certain extent. And I had to take out loans to, help pay for my classes. And I graduated from community college with 2 AAs, one in mathematics and one in social science. And I transferred to university, and all of that wasn't free. And my university was charging like $3,500 a semester, and I didn't have that kind of money. And so, I had to take out loans. And so I racked up about $26,000 in student loan debt. Now that's a lot less than a lot of other people, because I know people who have $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 of student loan debt, and they don't know how they're gonna pay it off, because there's no good jobs out there, I mean, jobs with the salaries that they're looking for. And a lot of times, sometimes jobs say you're overqualified, And so, even right now, like, I have an AA in math, but I'm not working in a math field, I'm working a blue-collar job right now, I tried to apply for a government job, an accounting trainee job, an entry-level accounting job, and couldn't even get that because they said I didn't have enough accounting classes. But my major is math. I crunch numbers all day, so it just doesn't make sense. But it is what it is. It's their system, they want what they want. So, I'm working working right now. But I can tell you right now is that in the cryptocurrency space, I've made more money in the cryptocurrency space than I ever made in any other space, So I've learned more online than I've learned in these schools. But yeah, back to the topic. I've racked up a lot of student loans. I've tried to make payments. I'm making payments here and there every month, actually, I had my student loans in default at one point, and I recently got them out of default, and I've been making payments, and, it's reflecting good on my credit. And since March the 13th, 2020, that's when Donald Trump declared a state of emergency and froze everything, froze student loan interest rates on student loans. So the interest rate has been 0 for 2 years. And now Joe Biden is announcing that he will not extend student loan payment relief no more. So this is going to affect me. It's probably going to affect somebody that you know. And it's back on, so you gotta start making your payments, because if you don't make your payments on time, your credit score is going to drop dramatically. You miss one. I know, like, somebody who missed one payment and their credit score dropped like 40-50 points. Like, so I don't even care if you have to make the minimum payment. If you can make a $5 payment, then you need to start making those payments, because this is about to go into effect, and this will affect you if you have student loans. So, roommates, if you were counting on President Biden to extend student loan repayment options, you're in for some bad news. The president just announced that not only will the deadline not be extended, but all student loan payments will officially resume on February 1st, 2022. Back during his time on the campaign trail, before he was ultimately elected president, One of Joe Biden's major promises was to permanently end student loan payment, and promised that he continued to insist was in the works even as recent as a few months ago. So all you liberals who voted for Joe Biden, how does it feel? How does it feel to know that you voted for a politician that screwed you over? How does it feel? How does it feel that you put this guy in the White House thinking he was going to do this for you? How does it feel? And you got 3 more years with this guy. Oh man, you're screwed. We're all screwed. We're all just a bunch of debt slaves at the end of the day, man. It's crazy. However, based on a recent announcement from President Biden via White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, that is not going to happen. You know, I already knew that I could not depend on the government. I knew that. So that's why I already took the consideration upon myself to get my student loans out of default and start making payments myself, because I knew that I could not trust this government. I already knew that. And I feel sorry for people who depended on this government, especially when the government shut down. People who thought the government was going to pay for their rent, you know, the whole time during the COVID lockdowns, and thought they were going to get their student loan debt canceled. I feel sorry for you. You know, you cannot depend on this government. You need to understand that. I'm trying to become as independent from this government as possible and get the fuck up off this plantation. I swear, if the government canceled student loans right now, there would be nothing else holding me here. There would be nothing else holding me to this country. I mean, I have my passport, and I could be gone right now with nothing holding me, you know? But the student loan debt keeps me shackled to this, you know, landmass as a student loan debt slave. And I thought that Bitcoin was going to hit 100,000 by the end of the year, or XRP was going to hit $10 so I could pay off my debts by now. But it hasn't happened yet. And so it's starting to look like, you know, I'm going to have to start making payments or whatever. Hopefully Canary X comes through for me like I think it will, and I'll be able to pay off my student loan debt in full with one payment. But if not, I'll just have to start making $1,000 payments and just be broke, you know, for a long time, you know. But it is what it is, you know. I already got my I'm already making payments, so I already knew this was coming. Psaki explained what is expected next, as various fellow Democrats, progressives, and liberals are highly critical of this latest announcement. In the coming weeks, we will release more details about our plan. We will engage directly with federal student loan borrowers to ensure they have the resources they need and are in the appropriate repayment plan. A smooth transition back into repayment is a high priority for the administration, she said. Yeah, we need all of the debt slaves to get back to work. Get back on that plantation so we can get that tax revenue, so we can fund the military industrial complex. Get back to work, slave. That's what they need. A smooth transition back into debt slavery. That's what they need. After being pressed by the media, who were in attendance during the press conference, Psaki elaborated on President Biden's intentions regarding his decision. She stated the Department of Education is already communicating with borrowers to help prepare for return to repayment on February 1st. 41 million borrowers have benefited from the extended student loan payment pause, but it expires February 1st. So right now we're just making a range of preparations. So you got about a month and some change left before you have to start making serious payments, because if you don't make those payments, then your credit score is going to go to zero. You know, so you better get a job ASAP or whatever you got to do to make that money and start making payments back. You know, because I found out that the interest on student loans occurs daily. Daily. That's crazy. And so the White House is not budging on the February 1st into student loan forgiveness. They're like, that's it. You've had enough time to get back on your shit, and we want them payments to start coming back in. And so it's not looking good. I mean, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of people who said, there's jobs out there or whatever, people are hiring, but there are a lot of jobs that didn't come back from this pandemic, A lot of jobs closed down. And a lot of people didn't return back to work. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could find another job. I'm not trying to make excuses for people, but a lot of people were affected by the shutdown. The government shut down the economy, not the virus, But the government shut down the economy and ruined a lot of businesses, a lot of small businesses. And so a lot of people have been out of the workforce and they've been on unemployment, the unemployment programs for a long time. And a lot of people's unemployment ran out. So they fell off the rolls of unemployment, which made the government look good. It made it look as if unemployment was low, when in reality a lot of people fell off the unemployment rolls and now they want to act like the economy is recovering when it's actually really not recovering. And so that gives them an excuse to raise interest rates and restart student loan payments. So a lot of people are going to be in trouble if they don't find a job and start making payments. And so a lot of people have been trying to get Joe Biden to cancel student loans. Joe Biden has canceled some student loans, but majority of his student loan cancellation has been merely like symbolic. Like it hasn't had a significant impact on a lot of people. It merely is just to make him look good and to allow him to say, see, I canceled student loans. I canceled some student loans, but it's not affecting the majority of the people. So Biden canceled $5.8 billion of student loans for disabled borrowers, people who are disabled and handicapped. I mean, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really help me, though. That really doesn't help me, though. So, I mean, that's good for them. I mean, they already got enough problems, being handicapped or whatever. They don't need the extra financial burden of student loans. So, good for them. And then, so, Joe Biden has canceled some other student loans, but there's a twist to this student loan cancellation. I'm going to show you. So, Joe Biden canceled student loans for people whose schools are no longer, open. And then he decided to cancel student loans for people with permanent disabilities. Maybe I should claim I'm retarded to see if I can get my student loans canceled. I don't know. And then he canceled student loans for people who are in public service. So basically, if you have a government job, if you are one of his government cronies, you will be able to qualify to get your student loans canceled. So, see, look, public servants, teachers, firefighters, social workers, and other government or non-profit employees of federal student loan debt. So, that doesn't affect anybody who doesn't have a government job. It doesn't affect you if you're not disabled. And it doesn't affect you if your school is still open. So a lot of people are still drowning in student loan debt, you know. Even the veterans, our military veterans, are out here struggling with student loan debt under the Biden administration. You know, we're supposed to be taking care of our military veterans. They fought for this country to give us our freedoms, you know, and to spread democracy, and they should be taken care of, you know. These people, some of them are disabled or whatever, you know, struggling with PTSD, and on top of that, they got student loan debt over their head. I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody. People took out these student loans knowing what it is and thinking that they were going to get a good job, you know, once they graduated, and things didn't turn out like that, you know. I mean, some people dropped out, you know, life happened or whatever, you know. I'm not trying to make excuses for nobody, but, you know, you took out the student loan, you knew what it was, but Joe Biden was out here saying, oh, I'm going to cancel student loan debt, I'm going to cancel student loan debt, and then once he got in office, he doesn't do what he said he was going to do. You know, that's what I'm saying. And so ALC is out here saying that it's time to bring the heat on Biden to cancel student loans. You know, I really don't like Joe Biden, but I thought that, okay, if he cancels student loans, that would be maybe one good thing that he could possibly do. You know, he done fucked up the whole economy, shutting down oil pipelines and trying to introduce his Green New Deal. I thought maybe one thing that he could possibly do is to cancel student loans. But he's not even going to do that. And, you know, a lot of times I don't agree with ALC, you know. I think she's pretty. But a lot of the stuff that she says that comes out of her mouth is just complete nonsense, you know, and it makes her ugly, you know. I just don't understand how somebody could be so, or just have her thought process. I don't know. But that's how people think on the left. But if they can actually get people to cancel student loans, then, you know, that would be a good thing. It would free me. It would free me from the chains of debt slavery. It would make my credit score shoot up to the high 7s. There would be nothing else tying me down to this country. And once crypto moons, I would be able to leave with nothing holding me back, you know? You know, I was planning on paying my student loans. I was hoping that crypto would moon already. You know, I thought Bitcoin was going to go to 100,000. XRP was going to hit $10 by now, but then the lawsuit happened. So, yeah, I'm going to have to start making serious payments because once again, the government proves once again why you cannot depend on them. Elizabeth Warren says Biden has the power to cancel student loan debt. Does he really, though? I don't know. You know, I mean, Elizabeth Warren is out here campaigning for it. The Democrats are out here campaigning for it like crazy. Chuck Schumer says that President Biden can cancel student loan debt with the flick of a pen. Basically with an executive order. Is that possible? I don't know. Nancy Pelosi says that student loan debt was a policy discussion and that cancellation had to be, quote unquote, an act of Congress. So maybe Congress could pass a law canceling student debt if they wanted to. Are they going to? I don't think they are because they're making too much money. They're making too much money. The Department of Education is making way too much money. Way too much money off of interest to let people be debt free. You know? They make money off of people being debt slaves. And with interest being added every day, it's like it's designed to keep you in perpetual slavery. If you don't pay it off fast enough, you will be a permanent student loan debt slave because the interest is always increasing on the daily. It's crazy. So the Biden administration is resisting Democrats' pleas on student loan debt relief as the deadline nears. Joe Biden don't care. He gonna do what he wanna do or what his handlers tell him to do. Congressional Democrats are urging the White House to extend the freeze on student loan repayments and for the president to cancel up to $50,000 of student debt. But so far, the administration is not budging. If they was to cancel $50,000 student debt, that would free me. That would free me completely. I would be so gone. I would be so gone. There would be nothing else holding me here. The standoff is one of the more noticeable splits between President Joe Biden and the members of his party, who are applying intense pressure to provide more borrower relief as the expiration of a pandemic-era freeze nears. But y'all know the Omicron variant just hit, right? And allegedly is spreading like crazy. And how is that going to come into effect, Because at first they were saying, the economy was recovering, after the Delta variant, blah, blah, blah. But now we got this new variant. And they're talking about children not going back to school, people not going back into the office. How is this going to affect student loans? Is this going to cause Joe Biden to put another freeze on student loan debt? I don't know. Possibly. We just have to wait and see how this sickness moves about the country. But that's what I'm recently seeing on, the latest headlines and stuff. So it may come to a point where everything has to get shut down again. California just reinstituted a mask mandate for indoor businesses. We're going backwards. Next thing you know, we're going to see lockdowns again. We're going to see curfews again. I can see it coming. You guys. The standoff is... Oh, I read that already. The standoff is one of the more noticeable splits between President Joe Biden and the members of his party, who are applying intense pressure to provide more borrower relief as the expiration of a pandemic-era freeze nears. Stephen Graves, the director of undergraduate studies for the Department of Black Studies at the University of Missouri, said in an interview that student loan borrowers are going to be affected the most by the end of the freeze, and he warned it could affect turnout of young adults at the polls in 2022. When are black people going to realize that Joe Biden doesn't care about black people? When are Democrats going to realize that? When are black people going to realize that the Democratic Party doesn't care about you? They don't care. They don't care if you drown in debt. They want to put more debt on you. They don't care. They don't care as long as you vote for them. They don't care. and young adults are probably going to switch sides because you lied to them saying that you were going to cancel their student loans. That's not my fault. A lot of black students usually end up with undergraduate degrees and or majors or taking jobs that are less likely to allow them to pay back those student loans, he said. During a recent press briefing, White House Secretary Jen Psaki told reporters that the Biden administration has not directed the Department of Education to continue the pause on student loan repayments, which ends on January 31st. Psaki said that President Joe Biden supports a $10,000 per borrower cancellation of student debt if passed by Congress. If Congress sends him a bill, he's happy to sign it, she said. They haven't sent him a bill on that yet. $10,000 would help me dramatically. I mean, that would cut my student loan debt in half, but at the same time, somebody has to pay that debt. That the taxpayers ultimately have to pay that debt, and so that results in higher taxes at the end of the day. It seems like everything results in higher taxes. But Joe Biden is not budging, so you're going to have to strap yourself up by the bootstraps and cowboy up and start making payments. Obama it's pretty much Obama. It goes back to Obama. He's the one that screwed you on federal student loans, man. He's the one that turned you into a student loan debt slave. He's the one who backed federal student loans and ensured that student loans were the only type of debt that could not be discharged by bankruptcy. So, thank Obama for that, all right? When he announced his candidacy in 2007, Barack Obama looked like he could be the one to finally stand up to the student lending system. He was one of only 2 members on the Senate Health, Education, and Labor and Pensions Health Committee not to have taken money from the Sallie Mae PAC. But in this position, he was privy to the Health Committee and other reports detailing a broad swath of illegal and deceptive activities by the lenders, the universities, and even the Department of Education. So there was some corrupt stuff going on with the student loans, and he didn't even do nothing about it, basically. That's crazy. His rhetoric about making college affordable sounded great. The deletion of most every standard consumer protection, like bankruptcy and statutes of limitations. Most debts are supposed to fall off your credit report after 7 years. Student loans don't fall off your credit report. Student loans cannot be discharged by bankruptcy. You are stuck with that. And that debt is going to keep increasing daily. The interest is going to keep accruing daily. So you need to start making payments ASAP. And like, if you're not making payments fast enough, that debt is going to be continuously racking up, and you're going to be paying off that debt for a long time. Long time. It's basically perpetual debt slavery, designed to keep you on the plantation, to ensure that you are working a wage cage slave job, to ensure that you are paying taxes into this system. You know? And I'm not gonna be paying student loans forever. Screw that. I refuse to be a debt slave forever. The deletion of most every standard consumer protection, like bankruptcy and statutes of limitations from student loans, had caused a hyperinflationary market and a systemically predatory lending system that was lives and livelihoods of millions of people. The nation's student loan debt has skyrocketed to $450 billion, and the Department of Education had actually begun turning a profit on default. So they were making money off of us. They were making money off of us not paying our student loan debts. So when Obama was elected, largely due to overwhelming support from young people, it was assumed that he would make things right. But he did nothing to bring back any standard consumer protections. His administration did nothing to curb the predatory collection powers of the student lending system. College prices increased faster than previously, and today, the average undergraduate is now leaving school with $35,000 in debt, up from about $17,000 when Obama became president. That sounds about right. I'm right in that category, almost damn near. Wall Street Journal also made a article on this. Obama's giant student loan debt con, the huge taxpayer bill for buying millennial votes, is coming due. All you Democrats who promised that you were going to cancel student loan debt, you're going to be screwed. You're going to be screwed in the midterms. You're about to see a red wave because you lied to a lot of these millennials who thought they were going to get their student loan debts canceled. Democrats devised the government takeover of student loans as an entitlement that might never be repaid, though they sold it as a money saver. New evidence of this giant con arrives, courtesy of a report this week by the Government Accountability Office that estimates the taxpayer losses at $108 billion and counting. Damn. So what? The taxpayer is paying for people's student loans? Is that what they're saying? Yeah. To help pay for Obamacare, Democrats simultaneously federalized the student loan market and projected fictitious savings, all while adding more than $1.2 trillion to the federal balance sheet. The amount keeps increasing like the debt clock. We're all perpetual debt slaves. If you don't get out of student loan debt, you are a perpetual debt slave because it's going to keep racking up. Liberals then cited the government savings to peddle the fallacy that the feds make money off student loans, a pretext they then use to sweeten debt forgiveness plans that have helped keep default rates artificially low. The Education Department claims the national student loan default rate is 11.3%, yet only half of all debt is in repayment. That's because everybody is in forbearance thanks to this COVID-19, you know? But once this ends, a lot of people are not going to be able to pay this back. A lot of people are going to default on their student loans, and a lot of people's credit scores are going to go way down, way down. I can't believe how much a credit score can dip. Just for one missed payment. One missed payment. Your credit score could drop like 50 points. That's crazy. That's crazy. Whew. This is just stressful. Borrowers can seek forbearance or deferment if they are unemployed, return to school, or claim financial difficulties. Or they can enroll in income-based repayment plans that lets them discharge the debt after making payments equal to 10% of their discretionary income for 20 years. 20 years? 20 years? I have to be on the slave wagon, the plantation for 20 years before I can get my student loan debt canceled? 20 years? I'll be fucking 50. I'll be fucking 50. I'll probably be fucking dead by then. 20 years? Be fucking 50. My life will be fucking damn near over by then. I'm trying to be young and rich and retired. Fuck this shit. I refuse to be a fucking debt slave. And I was waiting and hoping and praying that Bitcoin would hit 100,000 so I could cash out some and pay off my student loan debts in full, and then roll the rest of my profits into Algorand. But Bitcoin didn't come through for me. I thought XRP was going to hit $10 by the end of the year. Then the SEC hit me with a lawsuit, man. So that didn't come through for me. It's like the government doesn't want people to be debt free and free thinkers. They want to keep us in perpetual slavery and distracted while they just do whatever they do, man. I'm trying to get debt free so I can leave this motherfucker. You know? I want to be debt free and in another country so this doesn't follow me into, whatever I'm trying to do. Because, once the social credit scores come in, if the student loans is on your credit report, that's probably going to affect your social credit score. So, you better start making those payments. Those who work in public service, government or nonprofit, can wipe out their debt in 10 years without a tax penalty. So, if you're a government crony, you can get your student loan debt canceled in 10 years. If you're the average peasant, you can get your student loan debt canceled after 20 years. After 20 years of being a slave in the wage cage. We will finally let you go after we have no more use for you. How does that sound? That sounds horrible. That sounds horrible, man. I'm trying to be a rich millionaire in my 30s, man, and retired and not working a fucking slave job anymore. Man. And guess who has the most student loan debt? The most educated population in the United States, right? Black women own 22% more student loan debt than white women on average. So all the black women, all the divestors, and people saying, oh, black women are the most educated. Yeah, well, you guys are the most in debt too. The most in student loan debt. On average. I didn't say it. CNBC said it. ACLU says canceling student debt can help build black women's futures, because that's all the liberal cares about. You know, they don't care about black men. So let's cancel student loan debt for the black women. Let's do it for the black women. Let's cancel everybody's student loan debt for black women. Let's do it. You know, you guys like to push race, identity, politics anyway. You could cancel student loan debt and say you did it for black women. That would be great. That would be great. That would be so great. So great. So great. But Biden appears unlikely to extend the student loan pause, and here's how borrowers can prepare right now. I read this article, and basically the summary is you can prepare by starting to make payments. There is no relief coming. Biden is not going to save you. So you need to man up, woman up, or whatever, he, she, him, there, whatever you identify as. You need to identify up and pay back your student loans, because there is no relief coming. I been knew that I could not depend on the government. And so that's the end of the video. You know, look. I got $26,000 of student loan debt, man. I've been making payments. You know, I mean, some payments. You know, I just recently started getting serious on my payments, but I'm really gonna have to start getting serious on my student loan debt payments, even if I have to start taking out crypto loans and paying my student loan down $1,000 at a time, because this student loan interest is going to start racking up come February 1st. There is no more time to play around. You need to pay what you owe. You took out that loan and you thought what you thought. You know, I mean, the economy, you know, we thought that we were going to get good jobs when we got out of school, but that wasn't guaranteed to us. But the student loan was guaranteed though. So you got to do whatever you got to do to pay it back. I'm in the same boat as you. I got to do what I got to do, man. There's no excuses. I wish I never took that student loan. You know, sometimes I wish I never went to school, because I've made more money in a blue collar job than I ever did going to school. But yeah, this is the video for today. I'm going to leave you with this video right here from Nicotine 1988, because he puts the sentiment, his perspective on the student loans is exactly how I feel. So yeah, this is the video. This is RPU, and I'll see you in the next video. If you have student loans out there, let me know what you think about all this, all right? Peace.
I thought I was done recording for today. I thought I wasn't gonna make another video. I thought I was just gonna keep responding to comments on the other video about Trevor Lawrence being worse than Justin Fields and go about my day. But if you haven't read, if you haven't seen it, Joseph Biden, your president of the United States, says that he won't extend student loan relief and confirms student loan payments restart February 1st. Now, I don't know why people are surprised. Don't start getting mad now that he lied to you on the campaign trail. that he lied to you. When he was in the debates with Trump, that he lied. He said that student loan debt is too much. Let's make all college free. Let's make community college free. Let's do this, let's do that. Moneybag Joe. Moneybag Joe is at it again. First, he wanted to get to $600 out of your bank account. Take a look at your bank account because you got too much money in it. Now he's stopping student loan relief. That gotta hurt, don't it? I'm parched. That has to hurt, doesn't it? For you to believe that Joseph Biden was going to help you do anything. I've been saying this for the longest of times. I've been saying it so much. I've been going back and forth with people. Joseph Biden, Joe Biden, the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, all of these people, all of them are trash. Trash. Disgusting liars. All they do is lie. He told you, I'm gonna get rid of that debt for you. I know you're in over your head. It's the pandemic. We need relief. Where your relief at? Thought he was canceling student loan debt. You decided that you wasn't gonna make any payments on the debt for a year and a half. There's been zero interest on all student loans since the pandemic started, and you decided you wasn't gonna make a payment at all that the whole entire time. Now interest rates is gonna be up again starting February 1st, and you all the way fucked up, ain't you? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. You don't know what you gonna do. You just read that. If you haven't read it, I'm telling you right now, it's all fucked up. Your financial situation is fucked. Ain't it? Joe Biden, your president of the United States, is not paying any of your bills. You thought the government was. I don't know why you keep thinking that the government is going to take everything bad out your life and give everything good to you. It's not going to happen. Stop being dependent on the government. Do you understand? It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. These people don't care about you. They don't give a fuck. As long as you vote for them. This is why Democrats are losing elections, progressives are losing elections, and Republicans is taking over because people are getting sick and tired of the bullshit over and over again. Tell me why you voted for Joe Biden again. I forgot. What was it? What did you say he was going to do for you? Did he do it? No, he didn't. He lied to you. He deceived you. He deceived you. He bamboozled your monkey ass. And now look at you. You're shit out of luck. You got no savings. You done spent it all. The stimulus checks, you was buying TVs and Jordans and shit. Y'all gonna learn one day, man. Get out of debt. Stay out of debt. Stay out of these people's faces. Stay out of their offices. And stop relying on the government to give you anything, because they ain't gonna give you shit. Fuck them. Moneybag Joe just fucked y'all over. Student loan is back. Get ready.
You're pathetic.